I said the Astros would be in first place by the end of the month. Hand to God, I'm wrong. It's because I didn't have any respect for the Texas Rangers. And I thought to myself, you know what? We might need to start to do a recurring segment for Rangers Watch, just given what they've done to this point. So here are all the impressive things statistically that the Rangers have done after last night's win, 10-6 over Detroit. Detroit stinks. They are first in all of baseball in runs scored. They are first in all of baseball in batting average. They are second in all of baseball in OPS to Tampa Bay. The reason Tampa Bay's ahead is because Tampa Bay has a ton of home runs thus far this year. They are second in all of baseball in quality starts. The Astros are currently eighth. They are third in all of baseball in team ERA. The Astros are first. They are fourth in all of baseball in walks, hits per innings pitched. The Astros are third. So we're going to have to find ways to keep negging the Rangers and avoid callers like, was it Gary? No, it wasn't Gary. Gary's the guy that always thinks we're being racist. The other guy, what's his name? Peter, Frankie, Alphonse, Horatio, I don't know. There was another caller who called in and he was trying to talk trash about the Texas Rangers. Okay, well, maybe we'll listen to you for more seconds before we, shoot you down off the air. But we got to figure out ways to keep Rangers fans down. You can always bring up the old World Series, but after a while, that blown World Series gets old, right? It's not like the Astros haven't blown a World Series, right? I mean, they should have beat the Nationals. Braves, maybe that one wasn't going to happen, but if you're looking at the Astros right now, relative to the Texas Rangers, this actually might be a bit of a dogfight. There's still time before the Astros play the Rangers again. Obviously, the Rangers took the first series this year. So what do? How do we talk down the Texas Rangers and their fans, who I imagine are starting to chirp a little bit? I mean, not to the degree of that caller who called in to talk trash. What do you do here? What do you do? Any idea, Sean Mapes, behind the glass?
They just haven't actually done anything. It's still June, or no, it's not even June. Tomorrow is June 1st, and so
fair.
It is. I don't. There's not quite enough. Oh, how about this for a metaphor? There's not quite ammunition that I have to pull the guns on them because nothing's happened. I have no ammunition. It's, hey, you played well for the first 2 months of the season. Congrats. That's it. Congrats. Good job.
Yeah, that's a nice way to do it, to pat him on the head. Yeah. Oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But no, we need something mean. We need something violent, right? Pinche says, call them the junk grabbers. Ooh, yeah, the Rougned Odor thing. Which Rougned Odor? You don't even know. Plausible deniability. Another Twitch comment from the Surge Belair. They have blown back-to-back without one championship historically. That's true. They have never won. Interesting note about the Rangers, because the Astros used to be the Houston Colt 45s, but changed their name. I don't know if it was because it was problematic or what, but they did change their name. Maybe it was because space was cool in the 1960s all of a sudden, and they're like, hey, space!
They'd just gone to the moon.
Texas Rangers would not have become a big deal without the advent of the Colt 45. Interesting history note, because Texas Rangers and the Colt 45 is, again, how they started murking Comanches, because the Comanches were absolutely running their own country in the western part of the United States for a very long period of time. You did not go west of a certain of a certain line, because you were going to get taken down. Empire of the Summer Moon. Awesome book. Todd the Show on twitch.tv/ESPN975 says, the offense doesn't seem sustainable, but they have been frustratingly good thus far. Yeah, that's where we're at, but they have the most runs scored, and they have the best batting average in baseball and the second best OPS. Tampa Bay's the only one ahead. I think they're the second best record in all of baseball, too, after overtaking the Baltimore Orioles, winning 2 or 3 over the weekend. They're definitely the second best team in the American League. We'll see. But they're good, and I think we're going to have to keep an eye on them. Some comments in the last segment. I think the Colt 45 name change was due to copyright of the actual Colt company. That makes sense. As far as the Rangers go, they have a player by the name of Bubba Thompson on them from Mobile, Alabama, and it has me thinking about A.J. McCarron's chest tattoo of the skyline of Mobile, Alabama, Texans legend quarterback. What a quarterback room that place has been historically. And from Pinche, the Rangers are serving as the mechanical rabbits in the AL West race. Let them enjoy it while they can. But they're at a point in the year where I feel like we can't completely turn our noses at them anymore. It's been a pretty impressive start on a number of statistical categories. This isn't like the Heat having a negative point differential and making it all the way to the NBA Finals, which is still truly amazing.
I think part of the reason I don't take them seriously is the Rangers, that they just haven't done this in a while, like been good in a while. And two is the chase down that happened of the New York Yankees last year, who are also legitimately awesome before like July, and then they kind of fell apart, and the Astros overtook them with relative ease. That to me is just like I can only get so excited, or opposite of excited, worried about a team in June or before June starts.
That's true.
Even at the end of June. Like, there's just so many games left to play. The Astros are only, 3 back against the...
Yep. But still 3 back, and you would have thought that they would be a little bit closer because the Rangers schedule got a little bit tougher. Speaking of the Yankees, they have been playing well. They've been kicking Seattle's ass the last couple of games. Aaron Judge has 18 home runs, so that might be something that we... Excuse me. That might be something we're hearing about in the near future. This grass pollen is killing me today. 713-780-3776. Thomas is in the Heights. He's got a thought on the Texas Rangers. Thomas.
Hey, Paul. Yeah, man, I'm just calling this, give the Rangers their props for, winning the championship here on May 31st. They're doing so well, and so we should just crown them. No, they're a solid team. They're like entertaining team for sure that they're hitting. But like Sean just mentioned, last year's, scorching hot Yankees, sometimes, pitching catches up, and it's a two-way street for them. So you're thinking they're excellent bats, usually going against elite pitching in the playoffs, usually pitching, tends to win. And then also, if you look at their pitching staff too, Martin Perez, who's supposed to be their ace or their co-ace with Eovaldi, is just regressing in the month of May, and their bullpen sucks. They can't hold the lead for anything, even if they're up, 5, 6, 7 runs. So, they're just in a tough spot to maintain the lead. So, you can always add things, add pitching at the trade deadline and stuff, but it's just, congratulate them for their, strong start. But, back these last 2 months, all we've heard is Astros, panic button, we're done. The dynasty's over, but guess what? We're just getting started, and we're only 3 games back. So I'll hang up and listen in.
Love cocky Astro fan call. Appreciate the phone call, Thomas. That's nice, Rangers. It's nice. Unsustainable is the argument. Highest run differential in all of baseball, for what it's worth, too, in addition to leading the majors in runs.
That is a good point, though, about their bullpen that I wasn't familiar with the structure of their team. That their bullpen's pretty shaky and have been performing above their heads. And then you look at the Astros, they're an awesome bullpen last year, and you think maybe that one of these guys has to normalize a little bit, get back to their what their form was, or at least close to their form was last year.
That is true.
So that's like an easy improvement that just happens over time.
Team ERA is very good, though, for what it's worth. Like the Rangers team ERA. Again, that's not...
Because starters pitch most of the innings.
There you go. That's true. I'm just saying. Despite the bullpen not being that good, they're still, from a quality start perspective, obviously, which, as you mentioned, that's helping out. From a team ERA perspective, it's not like it's blowing up when the starters come out of the games completely. But fair enough. Bullpen.
No, but I'm saying you would expect that to catch up to them.
Fair.
Where if you have a whole bunch of bums that haven't bummed it out yet, you expect that to happen.
If you score a ton of runs, though, the bullpen's not that big of a problem.
Wow.
And
Rangers apologist, Paul Gallant.
Stop.
Protecting the thin blue line that is the Texas Rangers.